Okay, we're going to do part 3 here of creating the Lucky Dog character. One thing that I should have mentioned, using the pencil tool, it's if you're doing something like this hand, sometimes it helps to click on this little hinting button. Kind of helps, well, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Help the smoothness, and of course you can also increase the smoothness. Yeah, that's probably what I should have done, just increase the smoothness and turn the hinting on. That would have been made for a better drawing of the hand. Now there is something we need to do to these arm symbols to make them more organic, because if the forearm were to move, you would see that a big old gap, there would be this triangular gap between the upper arm and the forearm if this forearm rotated. Same thing with the wrist. There would be this huge break. It'd be like the arm would break. So what we need to do is create some overlap between the symbols so that they don't create a break. And here's how we have to do that. I've got the upper arm right now, and I'm going to go into the edit mode. So I'm going to double click on the upper arm. Oops. There we go. I'm within the back arm, but that's okay. These are the same symbol. I'll double click on this, and now I'm inside the upper arm. Whatever change I make here is also going to happen there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press on this line. I'm going to drag it out, down, and create an overlap area between the forearm and the upper arm. Okay, now I'm going to go back out, click on the forearm, double click to enter its edit mode. I need a line here too, because I'm going to be filling this with color. So I'm going to get the line tool first and connect them with a straight line, and then I will create the overlap going this way. So it's going to create kind of a loop between the two, and I'll push this out so that it's organic. Okay, and I do need all of this to be broken apart. Command B, because I'm going to fill this with color later. All right, now you can see that if this forearm were to rotate upward with that overlap area, you won't get that break in the arm. Okay, now I'm going to go back out here, and then this back hand needs to be a symbol. It's not one yet, so I'm going to do Command A to get everything. I'll deselect the upper arm, deselect the forearm, and convert what's left into the back hand, like that. Okay, so then I'll go in here and I will connect that, deselect it, push it up, create more of an organic overlap there, and that needs to be broken apart as well. Okay, now I need to do the same thing with the top hand, so I'm back out here to scene 1. There's the top arm. I got to double click to get inside. Here's the top hand. I'm going to double click to get inside. I'll do the same thing. In fact, I'll just take off object drawing mode. I'll draw a line. I will wait for the spinning rainbow of death, and there we go. Okay. I'll push this up and round that out. And there we go. I've got that kind of loop effect now on the arm, so that when there's rotation, things won't create gaps. There won't be gaps. Okay. Now I'm going to work on the other parts of Lucky Dog. I'm going to work on his body. Really, we're just going to call this the hip area. I can use the ellipse tool, and I'm going to work in object mode. And I can actually, let's see, I'm going to lock this arm layer and hide it. And I may work on the the body layer right here. I'll unlock that and work on this layer. And this little ellipse here is going to be the hips. So I'll move this into place, make it a little bigger, move it up a little bit. Okay, and that works pretty well. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be the hips. I'm going to make it a symbol. Modify, convert to symbol, call it hips. Okay. Now it's time to draw the leg, and there's going to be a thigh and a shin. And I'm just going to use a rectangle tool. So I'm going to use that, make a rectangle, and that'll be the, actually first thing I'll do, let me make a rectangle that is the size of the entire leg, like so. Okay. I'll go ahead and bend this up. I'll go ahead and bend this down. I'll draw a line about where I think the knee should be. And then I will select these things. I'll break them apart. Well, actually, let me bend this down first. Okay. So I got this, and I'll do Command B. Don't need that anymore. Don't need this anymore. I'll select these pieces. I'm going to turn that into a symbol, convert to symbol. I'll call it top thigh, T-O-P-H-I-G-H. Okay, there we go. And then this and this and this, I'll convert to symbol. I'll call it top shin. Now it needs that overlap spot, so I'm going to need to edit it. I'll double click on it, go into edit mode. I'll get the line tool, select that, and then I'll push up and get that overlap area, which I'm going to need. Okay. I'll select A and do break apart so I can fill it with color later. Okay, so that is my upper leg. I've got a top thigh and a top shin, and I want to copy them. So I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to Option press and make copies. Now I'm going to swap duplicate. And then make this back thigh. And I'll do swap, duplicate, and call this back shin. Okay, and then these two will need to be shrunk a little bit because they're on that leg that's back there. So I'll get the transform tool, shrink it down a little bit, like so. And there we go. So we got the legs, got the hips, we got the arms, we got the head. So really all we're missing are the feet and the tail. Okay, so the feet I'm going to do pretty much all with the straight line tool. You'll notice I'm kind of varying my approach. I'm using different types of approaches. But this time I'm just going to do straight lines all the way. Straight. I may need one there. I'm just trying to anticipate where I'll need to do some some curves. Might need a toe. Like that. And then like this. And like that. Okay. So it's a little, it looks very mechanical. So I'm just going to press on these, try to smooth it out. Let's see, like that. Okay. There we go. Now it looks more organic. And it ought to be fine. I'll do a little smoothing there. Okay. Now I can, I could work on this. I mean, like this, I want this to be a smoother. So I'll select this. I want to turn this into a symbol. So I just did what I did is a surround select. I did a press and a drag to get the foot. And I got all these symbols, or drawing objects, but I also got these symbols. I don't want those. So I'm going to hold down Shift key and deselect those two. So now all I have left are these. I'm going to break those apart, Command B, and then I'll turn this into a symbol. I'll call this well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna break this foot into two pieces though here in a bit. So let me just keep it the way it is right now. But a point like that, I could get the convert anchor point tool and press and drag and make it a smooth point. And then this, I might have to use that here too. Press and drag and make that so I can get more of a curve. Okay, and I could do a lot of this to refine what I've got. There we go. Okay, so it's roughly the way I want. I could do a lot more perfecting if I wanted to. Actually, this kind of bothers me. Oops. Okay, so there we go. All right, now the foot is actually going to need to be in two pieces because when he goes through a walk cycle, his toes are going to press against the ground and his heel is going to raise up. So I need to break the foot in two. So I'm going to draw a straight line about right down the middle like that and kind of bend it that way. And then I'll draw another one down the middle and bend it the other way. And what I want to do is I want to save this part of the foot as top toes and this part of the foot is top heel, or convert it to symbols with those names. So here I go. I want, first of all, I need to break all this apart. Deselect those things. Command B, break apart. There we go. So I'll get the heel, I'll get this. This, I don't want that. Alright, so I've got this part of the foot, that's going to be the heel. Modify, convert to symbol, top heel. Okay. Get these pieces. Actually, when I double click, they're the only things left broken apart. So I've only got what I want. Convert to symbol, top toes. There we go. Okay, select both of them. I'll do Option drag and create the other foot. And I'll do a swap duplicate. I'll click, there's the top toes. I'll do swap duplicate, call this back toes. And here I'll do swap duplicate back heel. Okay, so now I've got these, and I'm going to move them into position, and it's a little too big because they're back there, so I'm going to get the transform tool, shrink those a little bit. I'm not too worried about it not matching the drawing. That's kind of a mistake in the drawing that those back toes come out so far. I want to make sure that the heel is in the proper place compared to the leg, the pant leg there. So I'm not worried that it doesn't come out there. And there we go. So I've got that done. And then the only thing left is the tail. So here I go. I'll do the tail with 3 lines. I might do the tail on another layer so I can hide this. I'll do it on this layer here. Deselect. There we go. Okay, I'll do the tail. I'll do this with 3 lines. I'll do, actually, let me not do that. Let me do this. I'll do this, the top line, bend it. I'm going to start way down here and make a line like that. Bend it out, and then I'll kind of move it in place like that. And then I'll do another line here to here. Bend it out like that, and I'll select these 3 pieces. I'll break apart, Command B, modify, convert to symbol, and I'll just call this tail. Okay, and he is essentially now drawn. Okay, now one thing I do need to do is I need to think about my rotation points. These are not all in the right place because automatically they go in the center, but I need to move those. I'm going to move this rotation point to where the tail would rotate from, which would be there. Okay, I'm going to unlock these other layers and kind of see where these other symbols are. The hips are going to rotate, or the thigh is going to rotate from the hip area. Shin is going to rotate from the knee. I got to get the other thigh, put that up here where the hip is. The other shin, put that up here at the knee. The toes are going to rotate in the middle because they're going to bend up from there. The heel is going to rotate from the ankle. Got to do that with both of them. Here's the other one. From the middle, and heel from the ankle, like that. Let's see. I think that's good. The arms are good. Everything else seems to be okay. Okay, so he is drawn. And now, a little bit more we got to do. That same overlap principle that we use for the arms and legs will also be true of the ears. The ears need that same overlap, so I'm going to double click and get inside this ear symbol. I'm going to create a line and create kind of an overlap area. Break it apart. Okay, same with the other one. Go in here. I'll just turn object drawing mode off. I'll draw a line there, and I will move it out like that. Okay. Same thing with the ear stalks, because if I were to hide the ears, these would be open-ended. I mean, watch if I delete that. You see how open-ended that is. Okay, so I've got to get it inside the head symbol and do that overlap area in here. So I'm going to draw from here to here, push that up, draw from, I could do this like that, and then I got a nice safe area there. Do the same thing here. And the same thing here. Okay, so now I've got all the overlap areas that I need. Alright, so I'm going to view everything, fit it all in the window, and there we go. Everything is drawn. I can hide the drawing layer so that I can see it. And I want to put all these symbols together. Let's see, Command A. The torso is not a symbol. I need to save it as a symbol. So let's see, what layer is that on? That is on the torso is on layer 3. So I'm going to hide, block these layers. Command A, and then I'll hold down the Shift key and deselect, well, let's see. Hold down the Shift key, deselect these things. Let's see, dang it, okay. Let me do this. Holding down the Shift key, deselecting these things. Okay, and so that's left, I'm going to create that, convert it to a symbol, call it torso. There we go. Okay. Alright, now I can make everything visible, unlock all the layers, and I'm going to select all these symbols. I want to put everything on one layer. So I've selected all, and with all these unlocked means I'm selecting every single symbol that I made. I'll cut, Command X, and then I'll just go to the Lucky layer alone. I'll lock these other two, and then I'll do Shift Command V, which is paste in place, and that means all the symbols are on the same layer. I'll get rid of these two layers that I don't need. And now for animation purposes, I want these symbols to be on separate layers, but I want them to be named automatically. And there's a really cool thing that Flash does. I've got all these symbols on the same layer, they're all selected, and I'm going to do Modify, Timeline, Distribute to Layers. And watch this. I'm going to click on that, and then boom, I got a bunch more layers, and they all have the name of the symbol that's on them. Hips, top thigh, top shin, all that stuff. In fact, the layer that said Lucky is empty. There's nothing on it. It took everything off that layer. I can actually delete it. But the others, if I hide them, I can see what's on them. Okay, and that's I'm going to need that because as I animate this, they're all going to need to be all these things are going to need to be on separate layers. I can even get rid of the drawing layer. I don't need that anymore, so I'll delete that. Okay, so I've got these layers. Now, they need to be in a certain order though, because there's going to be some overlapping, and the overlapping has to happen in a specific way. I can see a couple of things that I need to correct here. The back ear, I need to correct that rotation point, put that there. The top ear, I need to correct that rotation point, put that there. Okay, and then the head, I need to correct that rotation point, put that at the neck. Okay, I think all the rotation points are correct. And one more thing I need to do is I need to put the layers in a particular order. I'm going to show you the order they need to go in. It's on the handout, but they need to be in this specific order. Okay, so I need to find the top ear, put that at the top. The next thing will be the back ear, that's next. then the head. Okay, then top arm, right below the head. Then torso. Then top shin. And then top toes. And then top heel. And then hips. And then tail. And then we do the back. We're going to do back shin, back thigh, back toes, back heel, back arm. I think, oh yeah, the top thigh, I did not get in the right spot. Top thigh needs to go below top shin. There we go. So this, take a look at this order, it needs to be in this order, and he is drawn. The next step will be to put him in color.